Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about 90 Day The Last Resort Season 1 Episode 2 Dead Last. Now before I begin, just like with every episode, please, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button, join the family, like the video, leave your comments so I know what you thought about this episode and these couples. I mean, are they really getting therapy or are they just here for the check? Okay, so let's get started. This series of The Last Resort features Kalani and Asuelu, Kelly and Molly, Angela and Michael, Jovi and Yara, Big N and Liz, along with 3 therapists. They specialize in things like temperament trauma, marriage and family therapy, and trauma therapy. All right, so we pick back up after the group session last week when Kalani dropped that bombshell to the group, the therapist, and us watching that Asuelu had a little something on his tongue, which caused them to break up, and Asuelu feeling bad and giving Kalani a hall pass. Now, if it was me, no hall pass needed. I know that Yara in her confessional said to Jovi, if it was her, no hall pass needed because I wouldn't be there. Exactly. I feel the same way. But you know what? Kalani is different and she's trying to save her marriage for the sake of the kids, which is fine. Fine for her. Now, after hearing all that, the group session's over, Big Ed and Liz said they have a chance because they're the best couple there. I'm like, you know what? If they just got the story of Kalani and Asuelu, which is a bombshell, to even say remotely that they're the best couple there, in my opinion, they're dreaming, but that's how they feel. And then you have Kelly pacing around the chairs in the outside area. He's upset and embarrassed because the therapist called out the fact that originally when everyone came to sit down to talk, Molly wasn't sitting next to him. So he's like, how could my girl do that? He's so embarrassed and he's trying to get those feelings together in his mind before he can calm down. And then we have Angela in her room talking with Michael on FaceTime because Michael can't be there. He's in Nigeria. His visa has been denied again. So that's their way of pillow talking and getting therapy. So Angela's telling Michael, like, can you believe what Asuelu did? And of course, Michael can't believe it. Listen, everyone is stunned at the news, but Michael's gonna go along with what Angela has to say anyways, because that's just how their relationship drama, the toxic drama, goes back and forth. Now, when we see Kalani and Asuelu again, they're talking about everything that went on and going over all the scenarios. Asuelu is emotional. You know what? It's okay that he's in touch with his feelings, but at the same time, he does realize that what happened is a reason of his own actions. So he's asking Kalani again, like, do you have feelings for the guy? You know, you still in contact with him? Kalani just says, you know what? Yes, I am. I'm still in contact with him and I still have feelings. I mean, what'd you expect? You gave me a hall pass. And then Kalani said, it's not even about it being sexual. It's about me getting to know the guy better, getting to know who he is. And so I think what Kalani is saying to Asuelu is that it wasn't just a hall pass. She didn't just have a hall pass with a random. It was someone that she found. Maybe she found it on a social media, maybe someone she knew from back in the day. And she got to know the person for who he is and vice versa. And so she has more feelings. So it's hard to turn those feelings off. And Asuelu is like, you know what? In order for us to go forward, you're going to need to stop talking to him and go all in just like me. And you know what? And again, Asuelu has, in my opinion, has a point with that. What is the point of coming to therapy if you're not going to be all in with the process? Now, Kalani did agree there's a big deal to sleep with someone other than her husband. But then Asuelu said, well, you know, what happened if you got pregnant? But then Kalani came back and said, well, what's the difference between you getting a BJ? And I'm like, Kalani, come on, you know the difference. You know exactly what the difference is to have sex, especially if you had it unprotected, because it only takes one good time to get pregnant. But then Asuelu's like, well, I'm sorry. I just really want this to work. Kalani said to Asuelu, I'm tired of your sorries. You need to do more than just say sorry. You need to prove it. Like, action speaks louder than words. And I agree. Now, at the end of their conversation, apparently Asuelu feels that he's still going to be staying in the room with Kalani. Kalani said, no. That's why the boys aren't here. They're with my sister so that they can, have their own space while we're going through our things. But didn't I already order a room or somewhere else for you to go? Like, you can't stay up in here. Now, we also see Jovi and Yara. They're in their room. They're exercising or doing whatever they do, their routine at the end of the night. But at the end of their exercising, Yara's on the bed. She's telling Jovi something like, yeah, you was a tiger last night. So apparently, whether it be last night or tonight, it looks like it's going to be a repeat. All right, so at the next morning, Molly and Angela are at the pool. Molly says, as crazy as it sounds, she can connect to Angela because she feels that, the things that they're going through, and they're just their big type of personalities and happen to be from the same state, the Peach State from Georgia. Yeah, they're the Southern Belles, so they connect on that type of level. I think mainly it was like the big personalities, because I don't see Molly with an Angela type personality, not like in the way that she treats Michael, but then again, behind the scenes, you never know. They're having lots of laughs at the pool. Now, is Molly laughing or is she laughing? Molly is having a good time. Angela's saying, we only live an hour away. We should have hung out way before now. And then the conversation turns to Molly and Kelly. Molly's saying there's a bunch of confusion when it comes to their relationship. Molly is saying that the goal was to get married, to have the house, to build a life. But there's things they just can't work out and work past. But Angela gives Molly some decent advice. She says, well, if you're here, like we all are, you have to put whatever you're feeling to the side and get into the group sessions to see if you and Kelly can move forward. And Molly agrees. She said, yes, this will be a make or break situation. So moving to the next day, in the afternoon, the couples meet up with a therapist to do a trust exercise. It's where one of the couples is blindfolded and the other has to get through the obstacle course by, hearing the direction of their partner. Now, Angela gets to participate in this exercise as well, but she has to pick a partner, and her partner is Jovi. Now, everyone is having a hard time getting through this obstacle course except Big Ed, who is not even listening to direction from Liz. And of course, everyone's like, oh, he could see he's cheating. Now, the therapist didn't say anything at the time with the accusations of cheating. And of course he was. I mean, like dropping the water balloon and just moving all swift and nimble while he was not even listening to Liz. But the therapist knows that when Kalani and Asuelu were doing their exercises, that Kalani's communication style with Asuelu needs to be dialed back in a lot. They say with the cursing and just over talking him is making him shut down. Now, the therapist also noticed that with Molly and her personality. And now that I'm thinking about it, Angela has the same big personality and they did actually bond. And then when Angela picked Jovi to do the activity, Angela was given direction, they actually had the best time at 40-something seconds. Now, again, Ed thought he had the best time, even though he was cheating at a little over a minute. But then why was Ed trying to get a little bit upset because people were calling him out for that cheating? After the task, the couples are told that it wasn't meant to be like a time task to see who was the best at the obstacle course, but it was a task on communication. Now, Molly and Kelly were actually given kudos by the therapist by having the best talk, like, go left, go right. And then when it came to Big Ed and Liz, yeah, they did pull him out then during the group and told him that, what? There's no way that you could have did the obstacle course like that. Even Liz was like, what? I have to apologize because Ed is cheating. I said, yeah, I did cheat. I wasn't focused on, doing the task. I was focused on winning. But then Liz said, well, I feel better that he admitted that he cheated and, in the past, that's not what he would do. So for me, it's making progress. I'm like, so this made you feel better that he admitted that he was cheating? But at the same time, when Kelly called him out for cheating, Jovi called him out for cheating, Angela, the whole group, Ed was like getting upset and defensive. What I would have liked to see, and maybe they cut it out, I would like for the therapist to ask Ed why he felt it was a need to focus on winning versus a communication style. But we didn't see that. And again, isn't that the whole point of a group session? When the therapists get around to Jovi and Yara, they mention how they did an activity. They didn't do the best. But then the therapist asked Jovi and Yara, so are there anything else with trust issues that they feel like they want to share in front of the group? So Yara says, yes, you know what, I do. And then there was a big silence and Jovi is like, what is it? Like, now I'm nervous. And the secret is, or the trust I should say, is that Yara's been hiding that she's on birth control. And of course, Jovi's upset. He feels like Yara could have told him in person. But then Yara said, what's the point of having therapy if I can't say things out in therapy? But I believe Jovi's point is, yes, you could say things in therapy, but don't blindside me in front of everybody when we could have did it on our one-on-one sessions. Now in confessional, Kelly said that he can see in Jovi's face, like, dang, you don't trust me? But Molly said, like I mentioned in the beginning, it only takes one swimmer to get you pregnant and that's a wrap. Because Yara, she had mentioned that she wasn't ready for baby number 2 because where things are with her and Jovi's relationship, and that she wanted to build her business and she's just simply not ready. Then we moved to Kalani and Asuelu, and from day 1 to day 2, Kalani and Asuelu are the main topics of the group sessions. So the therapist mentioned that they want Kalani mainly, but Kalani and Asuelu to work on emotional regulation by showing respect for each other in communication, even when you don't agree. Then Angela says she has compassion for Asuelu, and that's when she mentions again to Michael that she apologizes to him for the way she treated him along the way, and that she's going to actively try to do better. Then one of the therapists asked Kalani yet again, is there anything else that she wants to share with the group? So that's when Asuelu piped up this time and mentioned to the group that Kalani was still in contact with the other guy and that he wanted her to stop talking to him. And I said, okay, Asuelu, go ahead and say it in the group session instead of just to Kalani one-on-one, to see what they had to say. So Kalani admitted that she was talking to the other guy and said that she would, while they're here at the group session and trying to get things back on track, to block the other guy to make an effort to go forward with Asuelu and the counseling that she would receive. So after all the group sessions, it's later in the evening, Liz and Ed decide to get in the hot tub, and they're fully dressed at first, but why did Big Ed take off his swim shorts and get in naked? Now, production did not have to show us the blurred picture of Ed without his swim shorts, but they didn't have to show us Ed at all until he got into the tub, because we didn't even need to know. Now, Liz is trying to say, like, okay, you don't have to take this off, but Ed does his own thing. I honestly think Ed does a lot for attention and has for a really long time. Well, Angela comes out to the hot tub, and originally she was going to get in the hot tub, but then Liz was like, oh, well, Ed took his shorts off. Angela said, what? I'm not getting in there. And then Angela started making all these jokes about Ed. And then she said, no shade, but maybe you can use an extension. Then she tries to laugh it off. She's serious, because Angela does not play like that. Molly and Kelly come out to the hot tub. Angela walks off somewhere, but Liz doesn't say anything to Molly and Kelly. So they get into the hot tub, and Angela comes back, and a little while later, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Ed don't have no pants on. And the way that Kelly had this look on his face like, ugh, how come no one told me? Exactly. Let people know in advance that you are just all the way naked, have nothing on, before people decide if they want to get in to be with your bodily functions, whatever you got going on. But they didn't get out the hot tub, and guess who got in? Angela. So Angela gets in, and they all have champagne, and they all have conversation. The fun and games only lasted for 2.2 seconds. Ed talking about, so what do we all think about what happened in the group session? And then Liz gets to telling her part of the story. Kelly says to Ed, so why don't you let her finish what she has to say? And Ed says, I do. Angela says, you don't. So the group is telling Ed that he overtalks everybody. Kelly said, you know what? I'm not going to let him disrespect me. He wanted to wait for a time to talk to Ed about being called a B at the activity. Let me jump back a little bit. I forgot to mention that part. At the activity, when everyone knew that Ed had cheated, Kelly was saying, well, actually, it wasn't Kelly. It was Jovi. Was like, oh, he's a cheater. He's a cheater. Because you know what? Jovi could have a bit of a mouth as well. Ed thought it was Kelly. So Ed said, while they're in the hot tub, well, that's why I called you a B. Kelly said, first of all, I didn't say nothing to you at the activity. And don't call me a B again because, you know, we could get things popping. Ed says, you know what, you don't want to mess with me. I'm certified in Yoshida or something like that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a martial arts. I'm not sure. But Ed said, you don't want none of this. I was like, for real? Ed, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but Ed's stature, Kelly's stature, Ed might have been trained in something, but the reflexes, Kelly's a retired NYPD officer. Whose reflexes do you think is going to go just a little bit faster if something did go down? I'm just asking. My money's on Kelly. After the conversation continued to go left, Kelly took himself out the hot tub and went about his way. And I don't blame Kelly because you know what? It doesn't make any sense to go back and forth with Big Ed because he don't know how to listen and he's got a big ego that is always in the way. All right, so that was the end of this episode. Next week, we're going to see Kalani's sister, Kalani, sitting down with her asking if she can give her whole heart to the process and be all in with Asuelu again. Then we have Jovi. Jovi talks with Yara about hiding the birth control issue. And apparently, Yara said that how could you bring someone else into our bed? So maybe Jovi had cheated in the past. And then we have Ed and Liz talk about issues that come up with other couples, like Ed getting into it with everyone and conversation again with Ed goes left. Always does when you talk to Ed, regardless if he's talking to Liz or Kelly or Jovi. He's always in the mix trying to get whatever point he has across. And so when Liz says that she can't take it anymore, she gets up and walks off, Ed goes, run, run. Is always antagonizing Liz. So, but that's their relationship. All right, everyone, that was it for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, everyone, live simply, be grateful.